This video is for sailing and entertainment purposes only. The ladies were very interested in Peetz.
Especially one specific part of me.
Dora!
Nurse, clear my schedule.
Hello everybody. In today's video, we're going to be keeping up with Foodie Booty, checking out what's going on with Foodie Booty, Foodie Beauty, Chantal. So in my opinion, she is clearly ruining her whole channel over what? Why is it that our girls have this thing where they have to completely dismantle their channels and throw their channels out when they have no other means of supporting themselves? Like, girls, please.
Look at me.
Foodie. Girls, please stop trying to ruin your channel, okay? Seriously. Foodie Booty is going back to mukbangs. A little too late, okay? When I was saying that she made the biggest mistake of her life to going to live streams from just doing mukbangs, she didn't listen to me. Now you're going back to mukbangs? It's not gonna work, girl. And also Peetz supposedly, allegedly exposed our girl. All that and the repeating guy. So let's talk about this right away, and I definitely want to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section. Make sure to think about this, and then let me know what you think. All right, Peetz in a live stream said that when Foodie Beauty is going to come back pretty much to Canada, and this is Peetz's words, not mine, that basically this is when everything is going to be decided, that if her relationship will continue. Now, the first thing is everybody was like, oh my God, he said relationship and not marriage. Everybody already knows that she, in my personal opinion, sorry, Foodie Booty, please don't come after me, or go ahead and come after me. I would personally like a community page post written about me by Foodie Booty.
Isn't this a surprise?
Anyways, everybody knows Foodie Booty's in this weird fake marriage, okay? Nobody believes it's true love. Sorry, Foodie Booty, I have to speak for the community, all right? And the thing is that when he called it a relationship, who cares? Yes, it is. Look, a marriage is a relationship. So that's not as interesting to me because people are saying it's not a marriage. Maybe they're not really married. Fake marriage, fake marriage. He called it a relationship. Maybe they're just in a relationship, not married. But that isn't as prominent or important to me as this. Why would Peetz say and spill all this tea on Foodie Beauty and say, well, when her relationship, if it's going to continue, unless, of course, it's a marriage of a convenience or Foodie Beauty has no plans on actually going forward later on with the marriage. The only thing that doesn't make any sense to me is where would Peetz get the idea that Foodie Beauty has to come back to Canada and make a decision about whether or not her marriage is going to last? Where is he getting this from, right? Unless he knows something that we don't, and maybe her marriage isn't permanent. Maybe this is all a ruse. So that's how he spilled the tea and exposed her. He exposed some other stuff we're going to talk about. Anyway, so I think that I'm giving really good prices in this economy, but because for the low introductory price of absolutely nothing, you too can hear all the drama with Foodie Booty and her ex-boyfriend, roommate, Peetz. What's going on with Foodie Booty's marriage? Is she and her husband going to travel? No one cares. I'm not even going to talk. Thanks, Eric. I'm not even going to talk about that. I don't care. All right. So basically, if you could not tell already by my intro, everything I'm saying is just for entertainment purposes only. It's not meant to be taken seriously. I'm sharing my own opinions. Definitely not facts on public figures and what they are choosing to make public on the internet. Okay, I'm not talking about anything hidden here. Everything we're talking about, these public figures made it public first. Please be kind in the comment section to the people that we talk about. Please do not leave anyone mention any mean-spirited, negative, disparaging comments. I am always talking about the individual people's drama. I'm not comparing it to other people, and I'm not talking about other people. I'm talking about their personal dramas that are theirs, okay? So basically, Foodie Beauty has started doing a lot of mukbangs on her channel, and it's clearly getting significantly less views than her live streams. So let me just go back for a second. The way that Foodie Beauty got started, we talked about this once before, is she used to do makeup videos. That did absolutely Kermit for her. So then she went ahead and she started doing mukbangs, and when mukbangs and mukbangers were popular, I just love the word mukbanger. Okay, so basically what had happened was she became very, very popular doing this genre, and when I first found her, she was already getting 30 to 40,000 views just doing McDonald's mukbangs and just doing basic mukbangs. So The thing is, you ever heard of that like phrase, if it ain't broke, don't fix it? Well, basically, she started doing live streams. And I remember her getting a lot of controversy on the live streams that she did do because in the beginning, she kind of used them to rage at people. So maybe she saw that she was making more money on, I mean, obviously controversial content makes more money, but understand this, she was already making great money doing mukbangs because 30, 40,000 views, it is very decent money for YouTube, okay? So what happened is she started doing these live streams and then she completely did very wild, unhinged live streams where she was raging about her ex-non-boyfriend, you know who we're talking about, and the woman that he left her for, right? Okay. So what happened was that is how Foodie Beauty made the majority then of her money and how she became really well known to everybody. Not for her mukbangs, because that was just kind of safe content. Yes, I want to be clear and I want to say she was always getting criticized for her mukbangs as well. At that point, she had gotten into drama with Amber and she was always defending Amber. You know what I mean? But I would say that people really joined her channel over the drama also that she was providing on her live streams daily. So I had said that she had gotten into a ton of trouble doing this and, you know, she was very disliked and all that other stuff. She didn't have the best reputation on the internet. And I said, you should have never left your mukbangs. Okay, but she did. And I told her in the beginning when she was doing these wild live streams, I said on my channel, hey, you should probably go back to mukbangs while you can. Well, she didn't. Okay, so you got all this notoriety and attention for actually not doing mukbangs, and you know you're now known as this controversial figure on the internet. What does she do now? She's married supposedly, in this, in my opinion, sorry Foodie Booty, I think it's a fake marriage. I'm not getting any love vibes from you guys, but you know, she moved to another country. She is pretending to be modest. She's not a modest person. Please stop. People don't listen. If you believe nothing I say, believe this. People can become better people. They certainly can. But people can't just fully stop being who they are. Like, you can't just fully stop being who you are. It's not going to happen. Like, here's an example. If somebody is a pathological liar, they're always going to be a pathological liar. Okay, maybe they can treat the new partner better, but they'll still be a pathological liar. Believe me on that. Okay, so what happens to her is now she's going back to mukbangs and they're not doing as well as her videos just discussing her new life in Kuwait or talking about her marriage or anything like that, because that audience is gone, honey. You're ruining your channel. If you continue to do only mukbangs and you stop doing controversial live streams, like, here's the thing, people do criticize her when she goes after reaction channels, but you don't have to do that to cause controversy. You can just have controversial live streams where you give your opinions on things, but you don't like completely dismantle your channel. So my opinion is going back to mukbangs, the views you'll never recoup the views. No one cares about mukbangs anymore from you. You missed out on the opportunity to really capitalize on that forever at that time, or had she been gaining more subscribers at that time, it would have been a different time for her, right? I'm nothing but a poet laureate.
He did magic without me. I think beating a dead horse at this point.
My point here is this. I don't think that doing mukbangs is going to help her. You need to immediately go back to controversial content unless you want the 5,000 views. Maybe she does. Okay. Also, she recently posted this community page post in which she was saying that she wants the Holy Trinity back. This is a little community page post to highly imply that she wants her Holy Trinity back, who are the 3 people that used to comment all the time. They were like her top beezers, her top members of her channel. They used to pay. She blocked them. She trashed them and they left. Okay. Thanks for nothing. And
thanks for nothing.
So then they joined Peetz's channel, right? And she wants them back. But Chantal, like, okay, all of your content now is 100% inauthentic. I'm just telling you, somebody who's been watching for a long time. If I was Foodie Booty's friend, I would just say, honestly, like, realistically, you not showing anything on your channel anymore. Like, she has gotten a lot of criticism, I guess, from where she lives, like, as far as like the apartment that she lives in, which I don't care if her apartment is big or small. So now she barely shows anything. She like cooks and she shows a little corner of like the stove. She doesn't want to show anything. She doesn't want to talk about anything. That's not how you got famous on YouTube, and that's not how you made your money. If you want to continue to make money, you need to immediately go back to controversy. Okay, so let's talk about Peetz exposing Foodie Booty and what he had to say about her. So Peetz is her ex-boyfriend's roommate. She's paying the bills in the house while she's living in Kuwait with her supposed husband, right? Okay.
Nurse, clear my schedule.
First of all, she can't continue to live with him when she comes back from Canada. Second of all, I've said this before, I don't know what they're going to do, but Foodie Beauty has been supporting him for a very long time. And a lot of people even said, in the past, like, you should be with him. Peetz loves you. She has always said that she's not interested in Peetz that way. The issue is that, yes, of course, they have to stop living together because she can no longer do that.
Yeah, we're gonna be, living differently. But he's also understanding that, and open-minded to the point where he knows my situation. And no, I don't think any man would want their wife living with a man who would dress. Peetz knows that. He doesn't complain about it.
So the reason that I included this clip is to say that Foodie Beauty is saying in this clip that no man would ever want his wife, I guess we could say even girlfriend, living with another guy, right? Okay, so that is categorically true. I think most, not all, but most people would agree with this. You know what's interesting to me? Two things. Number one, when she was dating her ex non-boyfriend, you know who I mean, and I don't care for the way that he treated her, and I don't care for, anything that happened over there, okay? But it's interesting because when he broke up with her, so to speak, obviously I believe he broke up with her ex, just to, date another woman. But when he broke up the non-relationship, he said, you are living with your ex-boyfriend. This is not okay with me. And Foodie fought him so hard on that and said, no, it's okay. He's just my friend. Why have you completely changed your whole song on this? Because you're married? No, I don't think it's because she's married. Why didn't she give up Peetz for her supposed love of her life, the guy that she's still obsessed with, boyfriend? Why didn't she do that? The reason that she didn't do that is very, very simple, because she probably thought that they were either going to stay together or she still had chances. I think the reason that she's being so delusional, just in general about her marriage, in my opinion, is because she thinks this is her last shot. When people feel desperate and when they feel this is the last time that they can get married or last time that they can be with somebody, they do all these different things. Why didn't you have the same energy for your ex-boyfriend? Your ex-boyfriend literally told you. And I get it, she shouldn't have been with him. But he said the same thing to you. Why are you living with your ex? Oh, it was okay then, but it's not okay now. Another part of this delusion is simply this. When you get back to Canada, are you going to pay for 2 different apartments, 2 different rents? You can't live with Peetz. He has no real income of his own. Yes, he recently started making a little bit more from YouTube, but not enough to pay for rent and bills and food. No way. So I feel like she's being unrealistic about what happens when she gets back to Canada, because let's just be serious here. She cannot afford to pay 2 different rents and still afford her lifestyle with the new 5,000 views she's getting on her mukbangs. And also that she's probably not going to pay his bills for the rest of her life. We've also discussed this because, he has to get some kind of form of income, and he has to either rev up his YouTube or honestly, do something, get any other job, because she can't pay for his bills forever. So anyways, there's going to be a lot of changes, of course, happening. But what's happened is people have run with this whole story, oh, he's saying that it's not a real marriage. It's a non-permanent situation type deal, and it's just a relationship, and they're going to figure it out when she gets back. The reality is, if you think that Foodie Beauty is not hiding something about that relationship, then you haven't really been watching.
Isn't this a surprise?
That was a repeating guy. Sometimes he likes to come by for a Foodie Beauty video. So what? Okay. So the thing is that I don't personally believe this is a relationship that can last forever. I don't believe that this is a real marriage. Not because I'm saying oh, maybe they're not actually married. But come on. She's hiding everything all of a sudden, which we will get to. And there's a feeling of something is off. He seems nice enough. But like I said, he gives me this vibe of something isn't exactly what she says that it is. She's hiding her whole relationship for a reason, okay? So when people are saying that Peetz exposed her whole relationship and said that, oh, it's not permanent and we're going to have to see what happens with her relationship, this was obvious. This was always part of the plan, that something is off. She married a man she didn't know. What would be the point of him wanting to marry her? Seriously. Other than the clear answer of true love. What would be the point of this man meeting a woman on the internet, asking her to move completely away from her country to his country to marry her. For what reason? You could perhaps make the case that he fell in love, but I just, you know what? I do not get that vibe. Do you guys, when you watch Foodie Beauty with her husband, do you guys get the vibe? Do you get that feeling that he's madly in love with her? I don't. And I think that what Peetz said isn't really an expose. It's obvious. Now, Peetz also has recently been defending Foodie Beauty. First, he said that the reason that she has changed is because she was harassed, her family was doxxed, and he also said, like, why was she successful on YouTube? Because she had a lot of luck and she has this personality that people want to watch. She has all these stories that people want to hear and that she's a fun person. And he says, no, she doesn't lie. She changes her mind. Right. Okay.
That's not lying. That's changing my mind.
Here's the thing. For what it's worth, I will say, people definitely change their minds. They clearly change their minds, yes. But like, this is similar to Amberlynn Reed saying that she doesn't have a gambling issue after explaining how she definitely has a gambling issue. Like, okay, this is not, when you blatantly say one statement and then think that people forgot and lie about it, this is not changing your mind. That's the whole meme in the community. That's the whole joke of that clip of, I didn't lie, I changed my mind. Okay, please, like, come on. Yes, Foodie Booty does not lie. Now, as far as this whole thing about how she was harassed and doxxed, I just want to say something. I remember watching way back when she just had a mukbang channel. So she wasn't doing live streams. She hadn't met her now boyfriend. You know who I'm talking about. Now her husband. You know, like, this was before then. And she and her family were already doxxed back then. I want to say, to be fair, when you first start YouTube, you don't know that this is a thing. I know I didn't know that this was a thing. And one of the biggest things that I can suggest to commentary channels that are just up and coming, the biggest mistake that people make, in my opinion, is go on camera, show their face, show their identity, and talk about themselves. Don't ever do it. That's my biggest advice. If I could honestly give any advice, nobody listens to me anyways. If I could give any advice, it's definitely, if you're a new commentary channel, don't say anything about yourself. Don't disclose your location. Don't ever come on camera. And I would go so far as even disguising your voice 100%. And I know that sounds like a little bit sad, but that's the way you have to deal with YouTube, okay? Because inevitably everybody gets doxxed, and there's a lot of really evil people out there in the world. Also, you can be like making very sweet and non-confrontational content, and it's not going to matter, okay? This is the way that YouTube is. To be fair, this is the only thing I will say, not even on her side or in her favor, but just to look at the bigger picture. No one knows what they're in store for when they start YouTube, mainly because people don't realize that they will become public figures. There's no guarantee, like Peetz talked about it, that she had a lot of luck. I do agree she had a lot of luck. You don't think there's tons of women out there like Foodie Booty that made YouTube videos that started off with mukbangs? Like 100% she had a lot of luck, yes. She was also super controversial. Okay, because listen, she started off talking about, like, once she was doing like a lot of mukbangs, then she started getting into controversy and also trashing Amber, being friends with Amber. There's lots of YouTube channels that talked about Amber, women that did mukbangs, and nothing happened for them. So I do believe it's a bit of luck and it's controversy. It's the right timing. It's sort of like the perfect storm in any community. Do you know what a perfect storm is? It's like the right time when everything comes together and it just happens for you, right? Okay, so when he says that she was doxxed and harassed, do I believe she was doxxed and harassed? Yes. Do I believe anyone should be harassed? Absolutely not. Previously to her being terrible to people, like previously to that, when she was just doing basic mukbangs and people didn't even know any of her viewpoints, they did harass her too, okay? But my point here is this. What are your thoughts on Foodie Beauty's drama? Don't look at me like that. Even though people do not know, like Peetz is like, well, you know, she changed because she was harassed and she was doxxed. Yes, people don't know that they will become public figures, because when people start YouTube, they don't know they're going to be successful. Most people that start YouTube will not be successful. I could promise you that. So people become famous, infamous, watched on YouTube, and then they get doxxed. She was originally doxxed, and her family was originally doxxed. I don't know what these people are talking about. I don't know what Peetz is talking about. She was originally doxxed because I've been watching since the mukbang days of her channel. when she had a mukbang channel, I remember seeing it all over the internet. Here's the thing. She must have known that she was doxxed because she was constantly reading Kiwi Farms and looking herself up. So then she went and she was more careless with where she would go. When she started live streaming, she was always showing her locations. If you've already been doxxed and you know listen, do you know something called having an unhealthy negative interest in someone? Basically, that's the kind of interest that people had in her, a negative interest. You ever known, like, let's say a guy is interested in you, but he's no good for you, or let's say a girl is interested in a girl, or a guy is interested in a guy, or a person is interested in a person, and they're just toxic. You may be into them, but they're just toxic to you. They do bad things, right? It's a long time ago, I had a friend. And my friend told me, this person has a negative interest in you. And I didn't understand what this person meant. And I really should have understand what this person meant. So I'm telling you now, learn from the repeating guy and the wisdom of the repeating guy.
Some people are just bad fans.
Yeah, like repeating guys who earn hundreds of thousands of dollars, more than Kermit. Anyways, my point here is this. She knew that people had a negative interest in her. She knew that she was already doxxed, so she continued to show her aunt on her channel. This is after the drama of her ex-non-boyfriend and all the wild live streams where she was trashing people. My point here is this. She was already doxxed, which technically is never ever fair and never ever okay when people give out your private information. This is when she used to do mukbangs. She wasn't even really that controversial. But the issue is that she took that information. She knew it was already too late, and she went ahead and continued to give out her private information that people ran with. So the last thing you want to do is help a doxer, which is what she did, okay? She helped people find out more private information about her until it was just too late. Do I understand how a person can change in a negative way after harassment and after being doxed? Yes. But all you have to do is just keep on going. Like, what could you do, So the whole thing that Peetz said, I just don't agree with. Also, Peetz is in a lot of drama himself because recently he has been obviously taking care of BBJ and Sam, Foodie Beauty's cats. I was going to say Foodie Beauty's kids, though. Foodie Beauty's kids that are cats. And he was like turning BBJ upside down. There's now issues. I'm going to link below some videos if you want to see this, from just saying. And the thing is this, okay? I agree that Peetz should not be handling the cats that way. And it's probably the wrong way to do it. You should just be nice to a cat and like pet a cat and play with the cat and, just give them food and move on with your life, right? I agree that what he's doing is not right. But I also don't see anyone saying Foodie Beauty abandoned her cats, left them with Peetz, and expects him to be a caretaker to them. Quite frankly, I don't even know if Peetz can. I mean, we know that Peetz can't afford life without Foodie Beauty, right? So she expects him to be able to take care of her cats. Listen, he is 100% to blame for whatever he does to the cats. But what I'm saying here, let's just be realistic. If you are the owner of the cats, why would you completely and totally, just abandon them and dump them for a marriage? And I've talked about this before. It was obvious that Foodie Beauty wanted to get rid of her cats. She constantly talked about putting her cats down, which is odd and unusual. I've known many people that have had cats, and they only start talking about this when their cat is incredibly ill and close to, going anyways. So she just acted unusual all the time talking about putting down her cats. I think that while she was in a relationship with BB and living a domestic life and being, this somewhat of a housewife, even though they weren't married, she was okay having the pets and taking care of them. And once she started being a single girl mingling out there, on the town, dating her non-ex-boyfriend, you know who I mean, and then going on all these Tinder dates, the cats became too much for her. Then you should have rehomed them or stopped just dropping your cats onto Peetz. So I think Peetz is wrong for what he did. Sure, you should be very careful with how you handle cats because people were saying, she was purring and that could be a sign of stress. Point here is this. He's not the owner. He shouldn't be mistreating the cats 100%, and he's wrong for that. But how come I don't see anyone saying, hey, the cat's owners, the person whose responsibility the cats are, completely dumped BBJ and Sam on Peetz? That wasn't right either. You want to get married, take your cats with you or rehome them. Don't expect your roommate to just take care of them. He's had a cat his whole life. I think the cat's name was Timbit, and unfortunately the cat passed away. But the point is, Foodie Beauty needs to take some responsibility for just dumping her cats, her senior cats, okay? So anyways, that's all I had to say about this topic. I wish Foodie Beauty and Peetz and everybody mentioned all the best. Let me know what you think about this video in the comments down below and about Foodie Beauty. If you enjoyed today's video, check out this video. You may enjoy it. You may not enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, go and leave a dislike. Be a friend. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you next time. Guys, do you know Foodie Beauty? Excuse me, have you been watching Amberlynn Reed? Why are you walking away so fast? You're walking in uniform?
I work for the FBI.